welcome to the Aligned Life podcast. This is Nicole, and together we're going to be diving into all things wellness, personal development, mindset, yoga, meditation, money mindset, all of those things. So if any of those interest you, please stay around. And if you are also interested in creating a life of more abundance and freedom, which is my ultimate goal, I have also created a 7-day Abundance Now program. You can find the link to that in my bio on my Instagram account at aligned.life. I hope that I can inspire you guys to live a life that's in alignment with your deepest desires. So with that, let's dive into today's topic. Hey everyone. Okay, so in a couple, I don't know how many ago, a couple episodes ago, I can't talk, in a couple episodes ago, I talked about 3 money mindset practices, and I just wanted to continue on that note and just give you 3 more practices that I have used in order just to kind of create a supportive mindset around money. And yeah, a lot of the energetic work that I talk about here is just how to create a relationship with money that's supportive and how to, of course, manifest more abundance into your life and just also like how to make you feel safe around money. Money is a really big stressor for a lot of people. I, of course, know how it is for myself and know what my personal struggles have been. And I also know that I grew up in a household where money wasn't really talked about and there was a lot of shame around it. And there was a very, very heavy presence of the lack of it. So I just want to kind of hit on the topic of cultivating a good money mindset and relationship with money because it's what I'm interested in and it's what I want to talk about. So with that, the first practice that I wanted to introduce on this podcast, of course, like I said, I have the first one that I put out. If you want to check out those practices alongside this one, then I will leave the link for that in the show description below. But the first practice that I wanted to introduce today is kind of a feng shui tip. Not to get too woo-woo, I'm very practical when it comes to all of this stuff. So if that makes you uncomfortable, hopefully you know that I can help guide you to make manifestation seem a little less weird, basically. But my first one, like I said, is kind of around the concept of feng shui. So when it comes to money, what I did is I would literally go to the bank. Actually, I didn't have to go to the bank because I got a bonus from my work, and the bonuses were always in cash. So I got a bonus from my work, so I was always getting $100 bills. And when I was kind of looking into feng shui and how to like set up your home for abundance and just like more flow of money, there was a practice of keeping $100 bill in your purse. So exactly like I said, I took one of those $100 bills that I got from my bonus and I would put it in my purse right next to my credit cards. So that every single time I went to spend money, I would see that $100 bill in there and I would just, one, it would be a reminder for me to tap into like the energy of gratitude, to be thankful for the money that I do have. And 2, it just makes you feel good knowing that you have $100 bill in your purse. Like it makes you feel better about yourself knowing that you have that backup, knowing that you have like some abundance and some level of money that's just available to you whenever you want it on hand. I think in today's society with using credit cards all the time, we kind of are losing that association with like the physical representation of money. And everyone always knows when you talk about money and you talk about having a lot of money, the first thing that's going to come into your mind is holding a wad of cash, or at least that's something that comes to my mind. But the physical object of just having money and holding money just gets you into a state of overflow. It gets you into the state of having money. And that's the entire focus around any manifestation practice, is just getting you to feel into the state of which you are desiring. So, like I said, I would put that $100 bill in my purse and I would just tap into that feeling every single time that I opened my purse. Along with that, and the feng shui, The front door of your house is a very big, like, welcoming, energetic state for your home, they say. And so they encourage you to put gold objects in your home to remind you of abundance, and also lay money out around the house so that you can see it more often. Anytime that you can have the visual representation of money in front of you is so good to help you cultivate getting back into that mindset of overflow and abundance. So I would also take one of those $100 bills. I bought a gold bowl because gold represented abundance, and I put it at the doorway of my home. That way, every time that I passed by, I could see the money there and just tap into those feelings and just remind myself that, like, hey, money is around me. I have money available to me, and to be grateful for the money that I did have. So, kind of two in one thing. I put the $100 bill in my purse, and I put the $100 bill at the entryway of my home, along with some type of gold object to represent abundance. My second money practice that I would encourage you to do is have a money date with yourself. If you do not know what a money date is, then again, I have a whole podcast episode about this subject, and I would highly suggest that you check it out. I will link it in the show description below as well. But basically, a money date is just a certain time of the month, whenever you want to do this. A certain time of the week would probably be most beneficial, but it's just setting aside time for yourself to plan to get intimate with your finances. What that means is just you're going to sit down, you're going to go over all of your finances, everything that's coming in, everything that's going out, and of course, record any debt that you have. So, your relationship with money is so important in regards to how it is interacting with you in your life. It is literally the entire thing that is creating your reality around money, and how you feel about it is creating how it's showing up in your life. So, a lot of people have a lot of shame around money. A lot of people are really uncomfortable with money. It's just a thing that a lot of people do not talk about. And it is to me, it is the number one and most important thing that we need to be talking about and cultivating a good and healthy relationship with, because it dictates how we get to show up in this life. It shows us what opportunities are available for us. It's a lot of the driving factor as to why people are taking 9-to-5 jobs that we don't like, is because we're trying to survive. And in this world, we need money in order to live and do things. So having a certain amount of money that supports the kind of life you want is so important to your overall happiness. And I know if you're one of those people saying that money does not make you happy, I totally agree with you to a certain point, because if you cannot afford to live in a good neighborhood, to have a home, to have a place where you live, to do the things that you want, to put food on your table, you have to have some type of minimum amount of money that you need in order to survive. After that point, yes, does money bring you happiness? No, it is an inside job. You need to fill that void within yourself, and you need to cultivate a mindset and an energy of where you can cultivate your own happiness from within. But again, we still need money. I remember being at dinner with my friends once, and one of my best friends said, "Yeah, but money doesn't make you happy." And the other girl that we were there with was like, "Yeah, but being broke doesn't make me happy either." So, like I said, there's a balance between money making you happy, because it needs to be able to support you within your minimum. And so cultivating a healthy relationship with it is so important. Happiness does not depend on money, but you freaking need it in this life. So let's just be honest and be blunt. But getting off the subject, a money date is exactly that. You're just going to sit down and get intimate with your finances. I know a lot of people are really uncomfortable with looking at their finances because they're afraid of the shame and the guilt that comes along with it. But honestly, creating a closer relationship with your finances will benefit you. The more that you ignore your finances, the more that they're going to struggle. It's just like a relationship. If you're dating someone, the less attention that you give to each other and the relationship, the more that the relationship is going to suffer and eventually fall apart. You have to give energy to money. You have to give your attention to money. So please know that your relationship with money is so important and that it is worth your time and effort to pay attention to it, to get intimate with it. Don't judge yourself on where you are in your life, how much debt you have. None of that matters. This is just about checking in on where you are and getting clear on where you want to go with your money and implementing those changes from there. So, number 1, put money around your house wherever you can, wherever you feel comfortable, and get familiar with seeing cash all around you. Secondly, set up a money date to get intimate with your finances. And third is closely intertwined with the money date, and that is setting an energetic minimum. What the freak is an energetic minimum? Here's the thing. Every single person has an energetic minimum when it comes to their finances, whether or not they are aware of it or not. So a personal example in my life, my energetic minimum that I can look back at my life and know that I definitely have is that I do not have late payments. I don't like late payments. I do not like having a payment that comes up and me not knowing how to pay for it. And looking at the history of my life, everything that I have ever had to pay for, I have always had just enough money to make that payment. So whenever my life was either going really good or really bad, I always had enough money to support my payments. Some people don't have that same energetic minimum. Some people, their energetic minimum is maybe being 2 months behind on rent, but never getting kicked out. It's the person who can get that late notice on their house, but they actually don't ever lose it. Some people's energetic minimums are never having below like $10,000 in their checking account. Like they can't fathom having a number that is lower than that. So this is where you just get honest with yourself and make a declaration to be like, this is what I accept in my life when it comes to money, and this is what I am not accepting in my life when it comes to money. And set those minimums. How much money do you want to have in the bank account? What feels comfortable? What feels good for you to have in the bank account? And what is a number that you're not going to allow that to go under? So is it $1,000 that you're going to keep in your bank account and you're never going to go below that amount? Like, set those numbers for yourselves. Set a number for your checking account, your savings account, and just your bills in general. Like, what is your commitment to yourself? Do you want to do the same thing where you know that you're unavailable for any late payments? Like, what feels comfortable to you? What is an energetic minimum that you can set for yourself and get behind? Don't make it complicated. Don't make it hard. Just get clear and set an intention and see what happens from there. So with that, those are my 3 additional tips for money mindset practices, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys. As always, thank you guys for listening, and if you're wanting more content from me, you can follow me on Instagram or TikTok at aligned.life, and I will be releasing new podcasts every Thursday. So if you want to keep in touch, please do. And I hope you have an amazing night, day, morning, whatever it may be for you. So we'll talk to you soon.